Hey guys, it's Ray. I played a lot of Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate over the weekend, so let's talk about it today. Unlike most games I've reviewed before, this game stands in a weird place in the market. Conclusions at the door first, it's not a bad game. In fact, it's pretty good for what it is, but its competitiveness in the current market for its genres of game is not high, especially in the West. Let's go through a bit of history here. Dynasty Warriors, the absolute OG series, origin on the PS1 in 1997. However, back then it was a 2D fighter game instead of what we know it as today. Dynasty Warriors 3 was the IP booster, which came out in 2001. Since then, the IP dominated the market for a very long period of time. The hack and slash mechanism and the unique gameplay got a lot of fans in both China and Japan to love the series. After seeing Dynasty Warriors being received so well, the same developers, Omega Force, developed a series based on Japanese history instead of Chinese history in Sengoku period, known as Samurai Warriors. Since then, these two IPs dominated the warrior-style hack-and-slash genre for a whole decade. In 2007, the developer Omega Force decided to mesh the two series together into a spin-off IP. The game was called Musou Orochi, which is also known as Orochi Warriors in the West. Back to the game itself. Essentially, this game is a warrior-style game in every single way you can imagine possible. The story is set in a dimensional world where the characters of Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors meet in a third world. Along with these warriors comes gods like Zeus, Athena, Loki, Fushi, Niwa, Monkey King from all sorts of different legends around the world. So, unlike most warrior-style games where it's just one IP, this game has two OG IPs along with additional characters from different legends, which makes this game feel more like Smash compared to one single Warriors game. The game features 177 playable characters, which is an insane amount of characters. To give you guys an idea, Hyrule Warriors had 31 playable characters. Fire Emblem Warriors had 25 original playable characters with extra 9 from the DLC, so 34 playable characters. Dynasty Warriors 9, which is by far the second most out of all, had 90 playable characters. So if you're worried you don't have enough characters to play in Warriors Orochi 4, don't! This also brings out a unique feature in the Warriors Orochi series. Instead of playing as one character in every single mission, you play as 3 characters in each battle, which you can switch between them at any time you want in the battle. Characters are divided into 3 types, being power, technique, and speed. Each type of character have their unique strengths and weaknesses, so having a balanced team is something you need to consider in Warriors Orochi 4, which is not in any of the other Warrior style games. In terms of the gameplay, I'm gonna have to guess everyone here has played at least some form of Warrior style games, so I won't go too deep into it. It's beat 'em ups, hack and slash. Dead simple. You choose some characters, you go into a mission, you slash up some enemies, you finish it, you read some dialogue, and then you keep going that over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's dead simple, which is why in terms of gameplay it's so replicable by other IPs, and part of the reason why the Warrior style game aren't dominated by Dynasty and Samurai Warriors anymore. So the core gameplay is, again, like every other Warriors game you'll find on the market. The game has its own twist to it, to include things like magic, sacred treasure, but it's really just the twist every single IP had based on their original games. The skill tree of each character is also pretty standard, just different forms of enhancement. Again, you'll see them in any other Warrior style game you play. One thing though I think deserves a special mention is that this game is actually pretty challenging. So in each mission there are 3 objectives you can choose to complete, along with 2 different things that assesses your performance. How long you took to complete the mission and how many enemies you killed. I've been playing a fair bit of this game and I have yet to get an overall S ranking. This is good in my opinion because it creates a segregation where if you're a casual gamer like me, you just want to run through the experience of some dead simple hack and slash, you can experience the story at a relatively decent difficulty, but if you want to master this game, you need to put in the grind to get the EXP, to get the right weapons, and to really master your hack and slash skills. So in that, I feel like that's a good job. Oh yes, one thing I would like to mention that I don't really know if it's a pro or a con is that you can transfer the data of the original Warriors Orochi 4 along with some other data from like Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, even Warriors Orochi 3 into this game for bonuses. Now, I don't really know if that's a pro or a con. It really depends on how you perceive this Ultimate. If you perceive this Ultimate as like a new remaster or definitive edition, that would be pretty good because most definitive editions or ultra editions of games don't really give you that option of porting your save data over as well, because it's normally on a different platform. But considering the amount of stuff added, this feels more like a DLC instead of a brand new definitive edition thing. So if you perceive this as a DLC, then it's kind of standard that you can port things over. So I don't know if it's pro or con, but at least I do admire that they are making the effort, saying that you can not only port things over from the original Warriors Orochi 4 if you have any of our games, because they are all developed by the same developers. If you have Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, even the previous Warriors Orochi 4, 3, we will reward you for that, and I feel like that's a good thing. But again, depends on your perception of whether this is a DLC or a brand new remaster. Okay, it may not have sounded like it, but for the past however minutes long this video was, I was actually trying to compliment this game. May not have sounded like it, but that's what I was trying to do. I really like this game. Again, I grew up playing Dynasty Warriors because I have Chinese background and I am into that part of history, and I like the gameplay. So having an industry standard game of the Warriors style series is good for me. I liked every single part of it. But this game has one distinct disadvantage, especially in the West compared to the other IPs, and that is Warriors Orochi is a game based on Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warriors, which consequentially represents a part of Japanese history and Chinese history. I'm sure most people who play Warriors style games is not only into the hack and slash and beat 'em ups action, but because they have love for the IP and the original games of the IP to purchase them. Like, I played Hyrule Warriors because I'm a fan of the Legend of Zelda series. I plan on playing Persona 5 Scramble because I loved Persona 5 and I can't wait for Persona 5 Royal to come out. I will not play Pirate Warriors, or I think it's called One Piece Pirate Warriors, because I'm not a fan of One Piece. I didn't watch the anime. So back in the days when people had no other options, where if you want to play Warrior style games, Warrior style hack and slash, the only options out there are Dynasty Warriors, Warriors Orochi, and Samurai Warriors. You kind of had no other choice, so they dominated the market. But now with a lot of other IPs making similar games, the disadvantage of using history as the basis of the story is exacerbated. I personally would still play Dynasty Warriors and Warriors Orochi because I have Chinese background. I love that part of history of Dynasty Warriors, but I don't see how I can convince, a local friend of mine to play Dynasty Warriors or Warriors Orochi 4 over Hyrule Warriors because they've played The Legend of Zelda for like 15, 20 years like me. They have not heard a thing about Chinese history or Japanese history, so how is that conversation going to go through? Because the thing is, at the core of the game, it's the same game. As I said before, the gameplay is so easily replicable that all these Warrior-style games are 80 to 90% similar. So why would you choose an IP that you have no clue what's going on over an IP you've loved for like 15, 20 years? Like, you see the point I'm coming from? In terms of length and price, I have obviously not finished the game. I've had the game for 3 days up to this point, but I've played it for a solid 12 to 14 hours. According to what I see on the internet, this game is roughly 30 hours long without the DLC. So without the ultimate part of it, it's around 30 hours long. And then there are other posts saying that the DLC added roughly 10 hours worth of mission. So you can expect yourself to spend at least 30 to 40 hours in this game to finish the main story plus the side missions. For a full 60 US dollars or 90 Australian dollars price tag, it's not bad in terms of length. However, if you purchased the original Warriors Orochi 4 2 years ago for full retail price, that's a complete different conversation. Because you can buy the DLC part or the ultimate part of this game in the PSN without having to buy the full new game. And it's like 40 US dollars because I think I saw it for 60 Australian dollars on the Australian PSN. So I'm guessing it's around 40 US dollars, which means you spend a whole retail price of close to 60 US dollars on the original part of the game, and you're gonna spend another 40 US dollars on the DLC. If that's the case, I mean, I shouldn't be the one to tell you whether it's worth it for you. You've played the original for like 20, 30 hours. So is that extra 10, 12, 13, however many long hours worth an extra 40 US dollars? That's up to you guys. Totally different conversation. I would say I recommend it less if you already have the original, but if you don't, $60, 40 hours, decent length. So back to what I was saying at the start. It's a good game. I mean, Omega Force has been developing decent Warrior-style games since the start of time, until Dynasty Warriors 9, but that's another conversation we should have. But just like what I was expecting, Warriors Orochi 4 is a decent crossover with exactly the same formula as they've had with the previous Warriors Orochi, Samurai Warriors, and Dynasty Warriors games. The game hasn't changed, however the competition has. With all the Warrior-style games that's currently in the market, it's especially hard to recommend this game over other Warrior-style games such as Zelda, One Piece, Persona, because the core gameplay are all the same. So why not choose the one with your favorite IP? Is this game still going to be popular in Japan and China with history origin? I would say yes, and as far as my knowledge, this game is still very popular in China. But is it going to dominate the market in the West in 2020? I would put a big question mark on that. I'm not even going to rate this game because that's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make is this game is a good game. But because of the background and the basis of this game, it's really not an issue they can fix, but yet it is a huge issue for the game to dominate the market in the West. So that's it, guys. Relatively short review on this game. When I was searching for materials online, I was surprised to find out that IGN actually didn't review this game. It's like the first game I've seen in a while that IGN didn't review. Just a little fun fact. Again, I'm not trying to bag on this game. I like this game, and as someone with a Chinese background, I'm happy to play this game and every single Dynasty Warriors game out there. It's just that because of the background, because of an issue they can't fix, the chance of them dominating the West just isn't that high. But anyways, how did you find the video? Was it helpful for you? Did you buy the original Warriors Orochi 4? How's the game for you? Let's talk in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!